Three young men, one of them barely out of college, sitting in a garage. They're tinkering with wires, circuits, and ideas that most people at the time couldn't even begin to understand. This wasn't just any garage. It was the birthplace of what would become one of the most influential companies in human history. That company? Apple. And its story isn't just about technology, it's about vision, failure, resilience, and the relentless pursuit of something better. Let's rewind to 1976, a time when computers were clunky machines that only scientists or engineers could use. Back then, personal computing was still a dream for most people. But Steve Jobs, a 21-year-old college dropout with a knack for seeing possibilities where others saw limitations, had an idea. He teamed up with his childhood friend, Steve Wozniak, a brilliant engineer who could build anything from scratch, and Ronald Wayne, a more seasoned entrepreneur who helped draft their partnership agreement. Together, they founded Apple Computer Company on April 1, 1976. Why Apple? Well, according to Jobs himself, he had recently visited an apple orchard and thought the name sounded fun, spirited, and approachable. Plus, it put them ahead of Atari alphabetically, a small detail that mattered to Jobs. It's funny how such a simple decision ended up defining a global empire. Their first creation, the Apple I. Designed by Wozniak, it was essentially a circuit board with a processor and some memory. No keyboard, no monitor, nothing fancy. But it worked. And for $666.66, yes, really, hobbyists could buy this kit and assemble their own computer. Only about 200 units were made, but it laid the groundwork for something much bigger. Then came the Apple II in 1977, the product that truly changed everything. Unlike the Apple I, the Apple II was sleek, user-friendly, and came in a plastic case. It was also the first mass-produced personal computer, designed not just for tech enthusiasts, but for everyday people. When VisiCalc, the first spreadsheet program, was released for the Apple II in 1979, businesses started taking notice. Suddenly, the Apple II wasn't just a toy, it was a tool. By the early 1980s, Apple was making millions, and the world was beginning to see the potential of personal computing. But success can be a double-edged sword. As Apple grew, so did internal tensions. Jobs and Wozniak had different visions for the company, and new executives brought in to manage growth clashed with Jobs' unconventional leadership style. In 1985, after a power struggle with then CEO John Sculley, Jobs was ousted from the company he co-founded. It was a devastating blow, both personally and professionally. Many thought Apple wouldn't survive without him. And for a while, they were right. Without Jobs' visionary drive, Apple struggled. The products became uninspired, sales plummeted, and the company teetered on the brink of bankruptcy. Meanwhile, Jobs went on to found Next, a computer platform development company, and Pixar, which would later revolutionize animation with films like Toy Story. Little did anyone know, these ventures would eventually bring Jobs back to Apple in the most unexpected way. In 1996, Apple acquired Next for $429 million, bringing Jobs back into the fold. At the time, Apple was losing money hand over fist, and many believed it was too late to save the company. But Jobs had other plans. He returned as interim CEO, ICEO as he jokingly called himself, and immediately began cutting away the fat. He streamlined the product line, focusing on just 4 key categories: consumer and professional desktops and laptops. He also introduced the iconic Think Different campaign, reminding the world why Apple mattered, not because it made gadgets, but because it dared to challenge the status quo. One of Jobs' first major moves was the launch of the iMac in 1998. Designed by Jony Ive, the iMac was unlike anything else on the market. Its colorful, translucent design was playful yet sophisticated, and its all-in-one setup made it easy to use. The iMac was a hit, helping Apple regain its footing and proving that innovation could still thrive under Jobs' leadership. But the real game changer came in 2001 with the introduction of the iPod. At the time, digital music players existed, but they were bulky and held only a handful of songs. The iPod, however, could store 1,000 songs in your pocket. Paired with iTunes, Apple's music management software, the iPod transformed how we consumed music. For the first time, You could carry your entire music library wherever you went. It wasn't just a device, it was a cultural phenomenon. By 2003, Apple took things a step further with the launch of the iTunes Store, allowing users to legally purchase and download music. This move didn't just save the music industry, it reinvented it. Suddenly, artists and record labels had a new way to reach fans, and consumers had unprecedented access to music. The iPod became synonymous with portable entertainment, and Apple solidified its place as a leader in innovation. Of course, no discussion of Apple's history would be complete without acknowledging the role of secrecy in its success. From the very beginning, Apple has operated under a veil of mystery. Employees sign strict non-disclosure agreements, projects are compartmentalized to prevent leaks, and even top executives often don't know what's coming next until Jobs, or later Tim Cook, steps onto a stage to unveil it. This culture of secrecy creates an aura of anticipation around every product launch, turning each announcement into a global event. But perhaps the most remarkable chapter in Apple's story is its ability to reinvent itself. Just when you think you've seen everything Apple has to offer, they surprise you with something entirely new. Take the Apple Watch, for example. When it launched in 2015, skeptics dismissed it as a luxury gadget with limited appeal. But today, it's the best-selling smartwatch in the world, praised for its health monitoring features and seamless integration with other Apple devices. Under Tim Cook's leadership, Apple has continued to evolve. Since becoming CEO in 2011, Cook has expanded Apple's focus beyond hardware, investing heavily in services like Apple Music, Apple TV+, iCloud, and Apple Pay. These services have turned Apple into more than just a tech company. They've made it a lifestyle brand. Whether you're listening to music, watching a movie, or paying for groceries, chances are you're using an Apple service. Cook has also prioritized sustainability, committing Apple to use 100% recycled materials in its products and achieve carbon neutrality across its operations. It's a bold move that reflects a growing awareness of the environmental impact of technology and a reminder that Apple isn't just thinking about today, it's thinking about tomorrow. So, what's the secret behind Apple's success? It's not just about making great products, it's about creating experiences. Every Apple device, from the earliest Macintosh to the latest iPhone, is designed with the user in mind. Simplicity, elegance, and functionality are at the heart of everything Apple does. And while the company has faced setbacks, from Jobs' ousting to near bankruptcy, it has always found a way to bounce back stronger than ever. Today, Apple is worth trillions of dollars with a loyal customer base that spans the globe. But its journey hasn't been easy. It's been marked by moments of brilliance and bouts of uncertainty, by triumphs and failures, by dreams realized and lessons learned. What sets Apple apart isn't just its products, it's its unwavering belief in the power of innovation to change the world. As we look to the future, one thing is certain. Apple will continue to push boundaries, challenge norms, and inspire us to imagine what's possible. Because at its core, Apple isn't just a company, it's a testament to the human spirit's endless capacity for creativity and reinvention.